Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. From websites and online stores, Squarespace is all-in-one place to build a beautiful online presence. Hello friends, I hope that you've been well. In today's video, we are going to be doing a little bit of vlogging. It's been a while since I've done a vlog. This footage that you're going to see is actually a little bit old. I am going to be doing a Artist Alley vlog here where I take you to Montreal Comic-Con and Toronto Fan Expo, which I did both in the summertime. I absolutely love doing conventions. I only do a handful a year just because they are quite exhausting, but every time I do them, I have so much fun. It's a lot of work, but it's so nice to be able to meet some of you in person, and it's just such a great time. So let's go. So let's rewind to July when I was getting ready for Montreal Comic-Con. And first I wanted to grab a couple of new display items. I've seen a couple of other artists online using these little dish racks from IKEA to use for their prints. And then since I was already out and about, I decided to go grab some banh mi for lunch. I know it doesn't look like much. It looks kind of sad. It got squished on my transit back home, but it was actually so good. So I was dumb and I didn't measure the size of the stand in comparison to my sticker sheets that I wanted to use for it. And so unfortunately, it was like just a touch too small, but instead of returning them and buying something new, I decided to just try and troubleshoot my way through this scenario and just make it work. And so basically I just created like a little faux base just using scrap cardstock just so that it was a little bit more stable. And it's not a perfect solution, but honestly, I just really wanted a quick and easy way to be able to display my sticker sheets in an upright format and have them organized or like, you know, easier to view in some way, because when you do conventions, you really got to be mindful of how much space and how much merchandise you have. And with Montreal Comic-Con, I split it with my friends, so I'm very limited on space. But before we continue, I'd like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Squarespace. If you are familiar with this platform, you know that you can use it to host an online shop, which is perfect for me because I am not able to reach all of you in person at conventions, so I can have a shop where you can shop internationally. But also what's great is you can now connect your platform to Square, which means if you take inventory and you take payments in person with credit card at a convention, you can have it connected so that it takes into account what's being sold in person and online at the same time. That way you don't have to recount your inventory. And of course, you can use Squarespace to host your portfolio and have your other social media attached to it. It's so versatile. So if you're interested, head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/imawonder for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And back to convention prep. Here I am opening up some new prints that I had ordered. If you've been with my channel for a little bit, you know that I've been doing a number of really colorful anime fan art portraits in marker and colored pencil. So I have already done the kind of main characters from Demon Slayer, so I decided to do a couple of more before Montreal Comic-Con. So I have Tengen and Tomioka there. And I believe it was a patron who had asked about this Pastel Cafe Witches illustration to be a print again, which I hadn't had as a print in a really long time. I actually made that illustration during a YouTube video a couple of years ago, and yeah, I just thought, you know what, I still like the illustration enough, let's bring it back. And then of course I have the moon and sun goddess portraits that I did for Patreon artwork a little earlier in the year, decided to make them larger prints, and here I am putting one design each into a sleeve so that I can use it as display at the conventions. I like to put them in sleeves just so they're protected. That way I can keep using them over and over, and the tape that I use to put them up on display doesn't damage the print. I know it causes a glare, but honestly, I'd rather protect them than if anything. So that's my reason for that. And then I have these accordion folders, which actually are falling apart, but I ended up taping them back together. And that's what I use to store the stock of my prints. I find that it's just easier to be able to have them kind of divided in some way, but also have them flat for packing purposes. So yeah, here I am grabbing a number of prints to pack into the accordion folder. And since a lot of my illustrations are original designs, for a long time I didn't have a particular organization for them, and I technically don't still, I don't think in the sense of theme or anything like that, but I did finally actually label them for the folders as well as the display. I didn't film that part, but basically I just labeled them from A, B, C, D, E, etc., just to make it easier for me to sort them, and also for customers when they want to purchase a print, as opposed to trying to describe the print to me. And when I have people helping me, it makes it their life easier as well. And then, of course, since Montreal is a convention that I have to travel for, I had to pack some clothes as well. And number one thing when you travel and you want to pack for clothes, you got to check the weather. And my personal thing with conventions is I want to look cute, but I also have to recognize I'm going to be sitting for a very long time. So I have to be comfortable. And my tip that I've known for myself now is to wear long skirts, because I don't want to be peeling myself out of those plastic chairs. And after a couple of little hiccups, I was finally on my way to Montreal on the train. Very long trip, but definitely a lot better than the bus that I used to take back in the day. And I was graciously being hosted by my friend Nina and her partner Mahir. This is us just driving out to their place, where I met my new love of my life, Kaiser. Isn't he just the cutest thing you have ever seen? He is pure perfection, and it was love at first sight. I was absolutely obsessed with him. And I also wanted to show off Nina's incredible plant collection. I could absolutely never. I'm so bad with plants. I'm so impressed with this. Day one! We're finally set up. We did it.
Yeah. We're there.
Yes.
Tired.
Did I buy this drink purely because it was cute? Yes. Was it also delicious? Also yes. And also, I would like to mention that the table partner to my right, this is their keychain. We did a little trade. I'm so sorry I didn't grab their Instagram handle. If you are that person, or if you know who it is, feel free to drop it in the comments down below. Then after the first day, we ordered an obscene amount of dumplings and just hung out for a little bit to unwind. And then it was time to sleep and get ready for the next day. It's honestly so hectic doing conventions, so I really didn't get around to filming much, but here is our booth. It's pretty cute if I do say so myself. And I will say, Alicia and I were definitely a big hit with the K-pop fans. I unfortunately forgot business cards, and so this was my sad attempt at rectifying that. And of course, we have to do a snack check that I had stockpiled from the Asian convenience store near Nina's place. And we were obviously obsessed with this Barbie booth. We did get photos with it. It is very cute. And yeah, after the second day, we have been doing this very long standing tradition where we go get poutine at this particular place. And while we were waiting in line, something very specific caught my eye. And lo and behold, if you are a Stray Kids fan, you know exactly what these characters are. So freaking cute. It was a very K-pop filled weekend, so it was kind of perfect. Needless to say, I had an absolute blast at Montreal Comic-Con once again, and I will be returning for 2024. So if you missed me this time around, I will be back, and I love just, meeting you guys and being able to meet other really, really cool artists as well. And thank you to my table partner, Alicia, aka Tall and Corky, for being a really fun table partner all these years, and as well as my friend Nina for hosting me for that weekend. And of course, everyone who came by my table and chatted and bought something from me. We rounded out the end of the convention with some Korean barbecue. Look at this wall of soju bottles, so satisfying and impressive. If you haven't tried flavored soju, I recommend it. It is so good. But yeah, the Korean barbecue was like the perfect way to end the weekend. It was so much fun and obviously delicious. And here's me and Alicia at our booth, and we finally got some really cute photos at that Barbie booth before we left as well. And now back to Toronto for Fan Expo. I was tabling by myself, but I graciously had a couple of friends help me throughout the weekend so that I wasn't entirely alone. There was this lovely person who saw that I had BTS merch and gave me this handmade BTS bracelet. So freaking cute. And for day 2, I had my friend with me. I made us these really cute to-go parfaits just out of like to-go containers that I've hoarded over the past couple of days. And of course, I have my emotional support boyfriend, S-Coops from 17, here with me. Always so many good cosplays. I never get the chance to take much photos or videos of people, but I was glad that I got a footage of them. And of course, this adorable cat. Oh my gosh, what? I was obsessed. And then after day 2, we actually headed over to Kung Fu Tea because they were having a Mingy birthday cup sleeve event. I was absolutely obsessed with how meticulous and how much decoration was set up. We go to like a lot of cup sleeve events, but this one took the cake for me because we don't get a lot of ATEEZ ones, and I am absolutely obsessed with the real music video set up here. Of course, I had to get footage of me going into it. So freaking cool. And continuing on with my K-pop agenda, we have these adorable BTS caffeinated drinks for day 3. This was the fit. I felt like a cute clown. I ran out of Gojo prints during the weekend, and then I restocked a couple of them very quickly for the last day. And of course, I tried to get there early so I could finally do a little run around and check out some friends' booths. Everyone is so cool. I absolutely love meeting new people and just checking out other artists at conventions. It really gives a sense of community, especially as someone who works from home and lives alone. And, you know, it's just nice to feel included in something and feel like you're a part of a bigger picture. And that's kind of the vibe that I get with conventions. It's so cool and it's so nice. Also incredibly inspiring as well, just to see all these independent artists and creatives doing their thing. I absolutely just love the whole vibe of fandom and art conventions. And a very special shout out to this incredible person who came by my table and gave me custom made stickers and illustrations of my character Momo. Absolutely floored. This absolutely made my weekend. Thank you so much. This is the sweetest thing ever. And yeah, that was the wrap for Fan Expo Toronto, and it was the last convention that I had of the year. Here is this incredible footage I got of this giant mascot Eevee attempting to go through the door and quickly realizing that it absolutely could not fit through that door, and then just watching it shuffle back. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Fan Expo Toronto was actually the best I've ever done at any convention, so that was a really great feeling, and that encourages me to apply for more next year. So that being said, I'm actually going to be at Emerald City Comic-Con in Seattle in late February next year. I'm so excited to be able to finally go to the US for a convention. But of course, if you can't catch me there, my shop is currently open right now until December 17th, and then I will be closing it and reopening it sometime next year. So link in the description. Thank you so much to everyone who has already purchased from my shop already, and I really, really appreciate all the support you have given me this past year. I know it has been a tumultuous year for us all, but I'm really grateful to have you all here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!